England.
Okay, we are live. We got the MME International crew. We got Zeno joining us today. The Rambling Man, Anthony, Zeno, and me. Sorry we're late. I had to track Rambling down.
Whoa!
I don't know. No, it was me. It was me. Remember to like the video. We're gonna I don't know. We might really go. You want to go really hard at the Young Rippa? Those two worst takes ever that influence the internet of morons.
Hey, why not?
You know,
sure.
Because
F that guy.
Well, he's a very talented musician.
You're not allowed to say F for the first 5 minutes, okay?
Yeah. Oh, he's rambling. He said F.
F.
Not. He didn't use the whole word.
Okay.
I'm sorry for saying the F word.
I had the tier in the clown nose ready. Worst take ever. WTF. MME International is going to react to this and set it straight. We have other topics too. Let's see the chat. Bullsy
What chat?
USSR gamer is your biggest fan. Guy on the internet 24/7, but he advises what other people should do. Keely Chow. Retro Bro, you could pop on if you want. I don't know. Well, I don't know if he has a. Oh, that you do? Okay. Never mind. Never mind. I forgot. I honestly forgot. Okay. No. Well, Retro Bro, hit me up next time. I have so many friends on the internet that I forget. Okay.
Oh yeah, you're persona non grata.
Yeah.
Quite rightly, he's called you out. Quite rightly, Retro Bro's called you out for being a poor friend, Max.
A poor. Oh dear Lord, I'm still. Good evening. Yeah, Bombery, you could get on here.
Hi, Bob. Hi, there's Carl. Hi, Carl.
What's that?
Carl's in the chat.
Is that him still? I haven't seen him use this one.
That's his I think that's his non-drama channel, or maybe his drama channel. I can't remember which one.
The Pig Fun Rama 1/2. I know what that is. That's up to Ramblin'. I don't know.
Well, let's see how this one goes. Maybe later on. Yeah, you can later on, but let's do this. We'll get this out of the way first. Carl.
You might be highlighting people who've left the chat already.
Okay.
Okay.
15 people watching.
Well, no offense, Carl, but you were upset with one of my takes before when I went hardcore against the anti-SJWs and I called them a word, and that's where we had our thing. So I don't know if it's going that far.
What word?
I called Jeremy and them bigots.
Oh yeah, I didn't like that.
Oh no.
But I said that they actually are. They're bigoted.
Oh yes.
Let's get through the political stuff, Carl.
So I don't
join us for the fun.
But Bomber, you're in the MME International group chat.
Yeah, the link's already there, Bob. Boomer.
Yeah, you boomer.
People accuse me of being a boomer.
We have 20 people watching. Remember to like the video. All right.
Oh yes, I just see it.
Hi, Gen X.
I liked the video. I did it.
No, Retro Bro, don't see yourself out. I was only kidding.
Got our friend.
I don't think the Retro Bro gets my humor, unfortunately.
I wasn't. I didn't think you were joking.
Oh no, didn't you? All right, sorry. No, I was joking. Retro.
Oh, okay. I thought you were
joking.
Oh, okay.
Very little I ever say. I don't know how people don't get this. Very little I say is actually serious.
Got our friend Gen X Gamer in the background. Hope you get.
I don't mean to offend Retro Bro. We've only just got back on only just got on speaking terms. So.
Oh, okay.
Is Retro Bro still here?
Yeah. We want everyone here. Okay, he said okay.
Yeah, no, honestly, it wasn't meaning anything in that.
I was like, oh.
No, he put a tweet out earlier, and I just referred to his tweet. So I watch it. We're friends on Twitter now.
Yeah, you're all good.
We're all good now, Max. It's good. It's all right.
Okay.
We're all friends here. We love peace and love.
Peace and love. That would be great if we had more of that. Yeah. Let me get the dogs out. They finished eating, and I got to get my coffee.
Oh,
I ran out of tea. I got to get tea for MME International. I like tea too.
Yeah, that's just only hot tea, not bubble tea.
I love all tea. I love bubble tea.
You're gonna say bubble tea, and we're gonna get Saggy come
Well,
here.
exactly. That's why I said it. Just because she'll her ears will prick up now, and that'll be.
All right, I'll be right back.
Bubble tea isn't real tea.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Absolutely. I've only had it. I had it the other day for the first. I walked past a little concession stand.
What do you think of it?
I hate it. Absolutely hated it.
Saggy,
I thought I've got to try. I thought I've got to try it because Saggy always goes on about it.
Saggy loves it and can't get enough of it. So shout out to Saggy.
Yeah.
If you hate your body, bubble tea is the way to go.
Why?
Yeah.
Is it bad for you?
That's Saggy's fuel.
Is it bad for you?
How are you, everyone?
It's very bad for you. It's fattening.
Oh.
Yeah, I guess
Too much fat, too much sugar.
Unfortunately.
Ugh.
Yeah, I've seen it around, in here. Chris is here. G'day, Chris. The link's in the chat, Chris. So, how is everyone? How's everyone's week been?
Yeah, pretty good, thanks.
Oh, welcome,
Yeah.
Bob.
Hello.
Yeah,
Yeah, man. I'm absolutely knackered. Hard week this week
yeah.
in the rambling world.
Yeah, saw your beautiful granddaughter.
Yeah, saw it today.
man. Yeah, yeah.
It's all good.
But
I tried to show one of my. She loves YouTube. Tried to show one of my videos. She wasn't that interested, to be fair. But there you go. Hey, Brian.
she supports. Yeah. Oh, Brian's here. G'day, Brian. Good to see you, man.
Well, we are. Where's Max gone now? I don't know where he's gone.
Oh, he had to take the dogs out.
Yeah.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
I make a coffee.
Well, he's already fed. He's already fed them. Now he's taking them out.
I might make a quick coffee. I'll be right back.
Yeah, go for it, Bob. And then later on, he'll need to take them to the basement. So got to factor all that time in.
Hello, Brian. How are you today?
Doing well. How are you, Zeno?
Good.
Been a while.
I've slept through most of my life here.
Well, it happens.
I think I'm still asleep.
Repetition makes me tired too. I understand.
Yeah. Oh, Brian's here. Hey, Brian, I got a bone to pick with you, Brian. No,
Yes.
Bone to pick.
Fight.
No,
fight.
no. Brian makes me think. He keeps me on my toes.
I know
And
that.
he consistently says, "Oh, we're just becoming a mirror. It's the same old thing." If you take a side, if you talk about and criticize everyone, I think it is actually extremely helpful. It's intriguing to the audience, and people like it, especially Nerdette. I knew, Nerdette. I'm calling you out, girl. I knew if I put Young Rip in the thumbnail, there's a chance. She likes criticizing him. She debated him once. He does debate me. But if you think about what I said about doing the channel, Brian, like Bill Maher, how he likes to have people on from different sides, criticize everyone, and he consistently goes with the same topic. It is helpful. It's good content, and it's interesting to me.
No,
Yes.
I agree.
But if you go the route where you go extremely personal and get into nonsense, then it is not helpful. I agree. So that's the you're in the MME group. All right.
I said
everyone.
You didn't send a link though, dude. You just said if anyone
You put
wants
it.
to
You
pop
put
in.
it. I think you put it in the international.
I got
one,
you,
too.
Max. Don't worry about it. You're good.
I sent the link to Chris. Yeah.
Okay,
Max.
wow, everyone's getting here now.
Max,
Yes, Zeno?
I thought I was the one that made you think. Now you got this guy.
You make me
telling
think
Who- I
about our
heard debate.
friendship a
I
lot.
try.
Like, oh no, I'm just kidding.
I heard
Hey.
debate. Who are we debating? We just had a very heated debate over on my channel about wrestling and women walking out and simps, and it went crazy. But who am I debating over here?
We're talking. We're going to talk about Young Ripper. And
he won't
his hot
debate.
take.
And not X-Men is not social justice.
What?
What?
Yes, well, we got to react to it. I've watched it ahead of time.
No spoilers, Max. Don't be spoiling it.
All right, I'm not going to spoil it.
That's what you did to me over the Grace video. Don't spoil
And then
it.
we'll talk
True.
about other stuff. Rambling, you said you had some commentary about Snyder fans and stuff. And
Did I?
I thought you
Bob.
said that.
The bot.
The bots.
That's so last
She-Hulk.
week. That was there for last week, not this week. We got other
We can
other
talk about
things.
She-Hulk.
Yeah.
Yes, the bad CGI.
Yeah.
Yeah, the CGI doesn't look very good.
Bad is an
Talking about
understatement.
Ugly Sonic.
I love Ugly Sonic. That movie
Yeah.
was. I just
movie
watched
was
it last
awesome.
night. It was awesome. It was
Yeah,
fucking.
we need the ugly cut. We really,
Oh,
really
you can
need
talk
the
about
ugly cut.
this. Oh my dear.
Yeah, and
Oh god,
She-Hulk trailer.
she's hot. I don't know if it's just me.
Tatiana Maslany, yeah, she's actually
She's
beautiful.
hot. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, and other movie topics, and we can talk about the Miko. Well, let's bring up Young
We're
Greco
not
first.
talking,
Get this party
about
started.
Miko. No. Go
We're
on.
not talking. It's dead.
No.
Dead topic.
Dead topic. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. You're calling everyone else out. Uh-oh. Yes, she is.
She is.
Listen,
Who is?
If you had
Who?
the Sports Illustrated girl, I forget her name. I don't forget other things, but I forget her name. That's not a good thing to say.
Nah.
I forget. What?
Nah.
Are you?
Women are
you
icky. Ew.
Well,
okay.
You have your preferences.
That's a completely different debate, but we can have it.
Some people. Okay, yes. Some swimsuits weren't meant for some bodies.
Ooh.
Oh, now you're being just like poor. We invited you on.
Come on, that swimsuit is like 5 sizes too small for that body shape.
Carl, I'm gonna
Are
do
you
it
kidding me?
All swimsuits are tight.
That's awful. That's an awful
well,
swimsuit.
you could. Listen,
That girl is sexy as fuck. I'd seen her that said right before I couldn't.
I never complained about a too small swimsuit on.
That girl's gorgeous, man.
Nah. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I have preferences.
Well, we understand.
I have standards.
Standards.
Whoa. Well,
Max will look so much better in a bathing suit.
Oh my dear Lord! I regret this already, guys. All right, thanks for listening, Zena.
That's a hot topic you're bringing up.
You're welcome.
Hot,
No
hot
problem,
topic
man.
you're bringing up.
What, Max in a swimsuit?
All right, well, let's get to the video. I'm not where I wouldn't look good in that swimsuit. No, Zeno.
I think I would look amazing in that swimsuit. I'm not gonna lie. I think I would look good.
Maybe it's possible, Chris.
I mean, come on, man. Look at me. Look at me, man.
I don't know. You got any pics? Send some
You're
pics my
looking,
way.
there's one right there. You're looking at it. That's me.
I don't see any pics of you. No, that wasn't you. That was some woman. I don't care about her. I don't care about you, man.
Enlarge my.
My DMs
Max, give me full
are
screen.
open.
Max, give me full screen real quick.
Oh,
Let me see.
wow.
That's me right there. That's what I look like. That's me. Not even a year ago. I just have a beard now, and my hair's longer. I look great
That's very deep in thought.
in a swimsuit. Trust me.
Hazel, I just fed
I don't
you.
trust anybody.
I think they might need a trip to the basement in a minute, Max.
Show me the
What's
pics,
that?
man.
I said I think they might need a trip to the basement in a minute.
A trip to the basement.
The dogs, not the guests.
Oh,
Chris, we'll
I
get some
just fed
FaceTime
you.
later.
You're senile.
okay.
I'm sorry. I love you, man, but you just fed you. I just took you out. You're looking at me like I'm crazy. He's crazy.
Shout out to
Okay.
my girlfriend watching. Too.
All right. Here we go.
Are they talking about social justice or civil rights?
Well, let me
no.
put the one dog in the basement. You're going to the basement.
Wait, civil rights are just one aspect of social justice problems. Like that's like a
What's
one part of it.
Well, what's social justice? Like, I don't know.
Social justice issues.
I don't know what that is anymore.
Okay, it's an
Doesn't
issue
make
that
any sense.
it's a more of a community thing. It's issues that involve your community that you.
What community? What X-Men community? They didn't even have social. They didn't have a social media back then when X-Men was a thing.
Well, I proffer that the phrase social justice is just a newspeak way of civil rights, because
it
I think
really
they kind of
is.
fall under the same umbrella if you really think about it.
Well, civil rights is about the law and what you are obligated to have under the law. Social justice is just people yapping at each other socially.
No. You're thinking of when it's gone bad, but there's still social justice that's.
Oh, so it is bad. Social justice is bad.
No.
Yeah.
No, when people. You don't.
It can go
Martin
bad.
Luther King, Malcolm X. You don't think they were social justice warriors? Absolutely.
Nah, no, they weren't social justice warriors because SJWs is a negative term.
It
It's
has
like
a
people
lot
who
to
go
do with
overboard. Social justice warrior is a term for people who go overboard. They're zealots and do it to a virtual signal.
Virtual virtue.
Virtual signaling.
Virtue.
In the virtual world.
Virtue signal.
Yes.
Yes.
Virtual signal.
it
I'll
has
play
a
the
lot,
video.
It has a lot to
Ignore
do with
what I'm
Well,
saying.
I mean, no.
Come on, Max,
Ram,
play the video.
that's an interesting question, though. We could go around. Ramblin, what do you think of that? Do you
What have I
think
done?
social? No, that's interesting because a lot of people think like that. Zeno. This is where I said Zeno's. People don't realize that Zeno adds to the show. There's a lot of consensus online that social justice warriors is only bad.
Well,
do you think that Malcolm
it can be twisted. It can be twisted, but it deals a lot with like societal issues, like the distribution of wealth, and things like that. Privilege has a big part of it. Before
distribution of wealth. That sounds like communism.
No, we live it.
That's why I said new speak, bro.
Well, I was asked. Well, Rambling Man, what do you think, man?
Well, it's interesting because even though we've got quite a lot of British commentators chiming in about the subject, we don't have that. We don't have such a massive debate about that as you do in the US. I don't think we have quite clear sort of political lines, and I don't think anybody really trashes to any great extent one another. Not really. Certainly, we don't make a big thing out of being a liberal or a socialist or a conservative. These are things we're quite comfortable with, I think. So, yeah, we do have discussions about it, but that's not a topic. SJW is not a topic we even discuss over here. Not really.
Okay.
But
that's what I like about Europe.
Well, Malcolm, yeah, I think it's pretty similar in most European countries. I don't know about Ant, I'll tell you in a minute. I mean, Bob's British. He might disagree with me completely. But
Bob, what do you think? After Rambling, go ahead.
No, go for it, Bob.
Yeah, we don't really have that big of an issue with like social justice warrior issues. But from my understanding, like social justice. From my understanding,
you gotta let him finish though.
From my understanding, social justice warriors, like the title, does have negative connotations when it comes to a group of people who are too vocal about certain issues. But I don't like you were saying, like Malcolm X could be considered a social justice warrior in a positive way.
Mm-hmm. Anthony, what do you think? Do you where you live? Does this come up a lot in Australia? Is a lot of topic conversation like is in the States?
Yeah, I think it's.
Well, they've just gone socialist. They just did today. They've gone socialist, haven't you, brother?
Yeah, here in Australia, they call them socialists, and like it gets warped into different conversations, like again, like distribution of wealth, and then there's the argument of affordable housing.
There he is.
The sexuality content gets thrown in, the different political games that happen as well, but. Yeah, there's always an argument. There's always a different debate.
I think it means something different. Being a liberal,
everywhere.
There's a different cultural shift in our countries than there are to yours. It's kind of ingrained a bit more. We have things like the National Health Service, which was a Labour idea, which everybody supports. So there are things we can get on board with as a country that doesn't necessarily split down political lines, if you know what I mean. Not always. Whereas I seem to think, it depends where in the world you are. If you're left, you're left. If you're right, you're right, and you'll never agree on anything. But
and I think anywhere in the world where you are, there's always the argument where there's the forgotten people who don't feel they have a voice, and you're going to get that anywhere. And so the people have their passions and the arguments they make. So yeah.
All right. Well, let's get to the video.
I envy all the UK guys because they don't give a crap about all this weird stuff like us Americans, where we're obsessed with race, social justice.
Well, we get it
identity
politics. I'm sick of it. We get it crammed down our throats. I'm so done with it. That's why I never say, if I say an SJW is different to me than a social justice issue. When I was growing up, we had social justice issues. What kind of neighborhoods were you? What kind of opportunities did you get in? What kind of neighborhoods? What kind of?
It's very it was similar, different. Chris.
It's been changed.
I think I disagree. I think if you go with the tools,
you
of
disagree,
your time,
Max, because you're an SJW.
So I'm not an SJW.
Max,
can we just highlight? You use the highlight that comment from Quint, because no, I don't think any of us have. Right.
I think
it's just opinion
that everyone can kind of relate to is wherever we all are from is the first peoples of the land. You know, they were treated horribly. You got slavery. You got like basically the stolen generation here in Australia, and even still to today, they don't get any recognition in the Constitution. And now we've got a new Prime Minister as of last night, so there's talk that that's going to change, and that's all over the world. I mean, like in America, they've had such different history or horrible history with slavery, and even African Americans still not the respect they deserve, and so yeah, all over the world there's a problem like that.
Hey, hang on, we got there before them, right? So
yeah, we're just as bad. We
got there before them, so don't worry about that.
Slavery is an awful thing. Yes.
It really is.
It's gone. We don't have it anymore in the U.S. It's gone. Goodbye, slavery.
Come on.
Well,
maybe it should come back.
No, that's not
we need to mock somebody quickly.
No. I was born white and straight and with a penis, so I should have to apologize for slavery for the rest of my life, even though it happened 400 years ago. I should still have to.
Dear Lord, Chris.
Yeah, but apartheid only ended in 1994. It's not that far of a distant issue.
Oh my dear Lord, Chris.
The United States ended slavery.
Oh, wow, Justin, this is perfect.
Again, Zeno.
What the?
This can end horribly.
The Brits got there first on that one too.
What in the fuck are we talking about?
Oh my dear Lord.
Justin Proper. Hey.
Verboten.
Oh my dear Lord.
I mean, no, Max, you got it. You some people just have their heads in the sand. They don't see it. I watch the news. I follow the stuff.
Yeah, but we're not progressed as much as you can't be dismissive of current issues too. Like there's not.
Oh, we progressed enough, Max. Come on, how long we have to progress?
I'm not saying we're.
No, we did not progress enough. Nearly enough.
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with progression, but when progression goes so far that if I say, "Hey, man, I wouldn't date a transgender person," and then you call me homophobic because I said that, because I have my own preference, things have gotten out of hand here, man.
You also said, "Hey, man," so that's already that's a whole other issue.
Yeah, see, I might even be in trouble for that because
Chris is gonna get us all canceled.
Why would I
love
canceled?
Chris. I love Chris today.
See what I mean? Why would you get canceled? Just the fact that you could get canceled for that is bullshit.
Yeah, I saw an article yesterday where there's a school somewhere. They actually removed the doors to the male and female toilets.
And they're what are buzzwords? Nobody's gaslighting anybody.
Oh my goodness!
I'm entitled to my fucking opinion, man.
Whoa!
That's my opinion.
Chris, I love Nerdette.
I love her too, but don't accuse me of gaslighting, because voicing my opinion is not gaslighting.
Hey,
RJ comes in here and moves on. He's like, "Hey, everybody!"
I think we should come on.
Hey, you know, as a pyromaniac,
we're going to be talking politics throughout this video. Anyway,
oh my dear Lord, this really went. This got out.
Well, guys, just pointing this out here, just pointing out the obvious. As a pyromaniac, gaslighting means something different to me. So, what exactly are we talking about? What is going on? How did we get to this point when I entered the conversation?
I don't even know how we got to this part already.
Unless Nerdette wasn't talking to me, then I'll shut the fuck up. I'll apologize and shut the fuck up. But I wasn't gaslighting anybody. You know what I mean? Okay. That's my opinion.
All right.
Little things like that matter when you're talking about. No, Max, you always do this. Little things like that matter when you're talking about social justice issues.
Okay,
but you only ever want to talk about the left side of the politics.
No,
you never want to talk about the right side.
No, I'm saying we haven't progressed as much as you think, and being dismissive of people, Kurt. We're good enough for now. You know, it's ridiculous to say that. We're good enough now.
I'm not the one that said that. I'm not.
You know, I think until we can get to the point where we talk about would I marry or would I date a whoever, whatever pronoun you want to use, unless we just see them as a person and not a male or a female as a transgender or whatever, we just treat them as a person and we fall in love or we have sex with them just because of the person they are rather than their pronoun. Once we get there, everybody's happy.
No, it's not. You're just a fucking snowflake nerd.
Whoa, Chris.
No, that's why she got into it with the Brodan, because she's got a big fucking mouth.
Oh, well, Chris.
She always wants to pop off, but then she'll run. No, it's bullshit.
No,
Chris, this is not the
Listen, Chris, you have to listen to me before I let you back in. This is not only on my channel. This is on Ramblin' Man's channel, so we have to respect the people running the show. This is a multi-stream, and that's going to get too aggressive. You know, I'm just highlighting her opinion. Yes.
Maxi Pad. I'm sorry, Maxi Pad.
Yeah.
There's too many people in this chat. My little phone is gonna say goodbye. Gonna make me. It's gonna kick me off.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I think is gaslighting? Right. Accusing me of gaslighting, just because she doesn't agree with my politics. She always does.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that.
Okay.
She always does this.
Listen,
She's a fucking snowflake.
You don't.
She picks fights with people in a passive aggressive way, and everybody knows.
Chris, I'm gonna have to remove. Chris, this is Ramblin' Man show. This is Ramblin' Man show.
I don't mind, but accusing somebody of saying that they're gaslighting and then calling them a snowflake. I mean, that's the ultimate.
Okay, because this is on his channel too. This is his content.
I don't mind difference of opinions, but don't be throwing around names. If you don't like being names thrown at you, do not throw names back. Otherwise, it's just a circle of hate.
I mean, people shouldn't accuse me of gaslighting. That's a horrible thing to say to somebody.
Oh, boy.
Because I know what gaslighting really is. I know what it is. I'm not trying to make somebody think they're crazy or they're wrong or their opinion is invalid. Okay?
She's loving it. Hey, Nerdette,
gaslighting is to make someone second guess themselves.
Yeah, I think they're crazy.
Having an opinion.
Yeah, and at what point did I do that to anybody? By stating my opinion about how I feel.
Let's listen
you
to
didn't,
the chat
Chris.
and move it on to some movie talk, please.
People in the chat just want to start fights. Don't listen
So
to
the
them.
X-Men.
All right. X-Men and the social justice myth.
This will be good.
We're getting there. We're getting there, Roger.
Okay.
It is not a secret that the advocates of social justice when it comes to comics are very dishonest people. They are leeches that exist to only hijack subcultures and fandom. And honestly, they do a great job of this. But when it comes to the
right off the bat there, what do you think if he says they only exist to hijack and take over, that they're not really there for social justice?
He's being accusatory and it's a blanket statement and he's wrong.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Ramblin', what do you think there? Just right off the bat, those that go for social justice, he's making a blanket statement there right away.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree 100%.
No, Nerdette, you don't have to go anywhere. You don't.
We'll stay.
Yeah.
To go. No one has to go.
It's fine. We don't want an echo chamber, you know.
Yeah. Okay, well, what do you think, Ramblin'?
We don't want an echo chamber.
Oh
God. No, like I said, I agree with Chris. Right, I mean, we're 24 seconds in, and we're already in the blanket statement. So,
yeah,
I think it's going to go downhill. But there you go. That's my opinion.
I think the point being that people on the industry are mostly left leaning, and more recently, we've had sort of a stream of subtle politics in there that are not so subtle anymore. But maybe they used to be, and maybe you could go back into other movies and from the past decades before social media and find these things. But most people, even now, still don't nitpick as much as, let's say, maybe we do as YouTubers, who our jobs are to nitpick these sort of things. So I guess if I were to hinder a guess of what Ripa's trying to say is that they want when he says hijack franchises, that's in those instances we've seen them before, where identity politics or some other form of political cause, or like in Captain Marvel, we're refugees. I'm like, oh my god, you're putting in because we're more politically, I guess, as a society, more in tune with all of that.
I completely disagree with that.
Well, you haven't let me finish my point.
No, go on then.
But people will pick up on those little buzzwords or those little things and either make a bigger deal out of it than it really is, or maybe that is the messages that they are trying to subtly bring out. But people pick up on it either way, because all media is just, it's all.
Well, hang on. First of all, you said it was unsubtle, and then now you're saying it's subtle. So what are the political messages? Unsubtle or subtle?
What's that?
Well, you
No,
said
he said it started out subtle.
He said it.
Well, what I'm trying to say is people will pick up on it now more so than we have before.
Okay. So this age is the first age where really movies have been political or overtly political.
That's not what I said at all. I'm saying if there wasn't a mass projection of it in any, not in any publication, but in a more broad mainstream platform, as social media didn't exist. So if there were these things that were thrown in there, most people didn't notice or didn't care. But now it seems like almost any little thing will be blown up either out of proportion, or maybe there's some justifiable reason. I don't know. This isn't my opinion. This is just me guessing. But anyways.
Well, more people are looking for it to complain about everything. But I believe it. I don't believe it's more so than in the past.
Oh, what?
I think it is because of what has been highlighted about.
You look at the 70s, 80s. There's a lot of.
But this is what I was going to say. You can even go back to the 60s and watch a film like Doctor Strangelove, right? And if you haven't seen that, go see it because you should do. I mean, it couldn't be any more political if you tried, and people did debate that. Things like Life of Brian back in the 70s. There were huge debates about Life of Brian and about the religious messages. So movies have always played a really important role in social justice and bringing things like, religion, politics, race, gender. It's always been there. I was born in the 60s, lived through the 70s and the 80s. It's always been there. We just weaponize it. We weaponize it now. That's what we didn't used to do.
Yeah. What if we didn't have it? Wouldn't it be? This is my question for the panel. If we didn't have it, wouldn't it be sterile and generic, not to include real world? I mean, this isn't just something you could take.
I don't think it's possible to not have it.
Right.
To some extent. People write what they know. They write what they feel. They write what they've learned. Politics and religion will always be intermingled in everything. It's never going away. It's never leaving. And it's part of pop culture. It always has been. It's just not. It used to be subtle, and now it's not. Now he's rambling. Is right. It's been weaponized.
It's been, and the real difference is, and this is where we have moved on. When I was growing up, when I was young, so people wanted to ban movies like Doctor Strangelove, like Life of Brian, like The Last Passion of Christ, things like that. Bands that Sex Pistols, punk bands, they just got completely banned in certain areas, towns, countries. We don't do that anymore because we have got some sort of platform to debate it properly. So it's not all bad, right? Because, going back 20 years, films just were banned from places. Bands were banned from places. Art was banned from places. And it's much better. But the fallout from that is
book burning. That was one I was always against. Book burning.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean,
that's happening now too.
But of course, it's happening now. All these things are happening somewhere. But I'm talking in general in society. Okay, so the downfall of that is we now weaponize it and we use it. But that is still a big cultural shift from saying you can't see something to debating it, even if you think the debate is wrong. It has moved on.
And it's also because, people look for representation in everything these days too. Like they want to see themselves in these comics and these films. And RJ makes some great points as well. Like this show was Stan Lee's reaction, to
Yeah, and it's always been that, Anthony. It's always been that. Yeah.
Yeah, and especially today, a lot of these shows, they bring out the topics of sexuality, and the isolation. I mean, these characters in X-Men, they all came from different places, and they all had their different problems, and it was about how they came together.
Yeah, and to extrapolate even further on what RJ's saying, like X-Men has definitely always been a franchise which has been about like segregation and separation and discrimination against different groups of people.
Fear of other groups. The fear was the fear of other races. That was an allegory in there. That's why
100%.
Oh, they're afraid of the mutants, like it's
And
always
then
been in there.
it's like also like how they went after the mutants, like in that humans versus mutants mentality.
Yeah.
I think the difference is, whereas before a lot of these were more original ideas, whereas nowadays, because of the logic of safety, we just, with the sequels, reboots, remakes, whatever, other installments in the franchises we've all come to love, now trying to adapt it for modern times is where people, quote unquote, modern times, this is where people have an issue, more or less, with that, because they're not making it. It's probably more or less due to a lack of originality.
Well, that is an issue in Hollywood, but
yeah,
why wouldn't you adapt for a modern audience?
Well, it's
really why there's diminishing returns. Well, what's that, Brian?
It's really. Go on, sorry, Brian.
Well, no, I was going to say, like, I think as audiences, we've evolved as well. We've evolved to notice it more because we kind of live in a hypersensitive climate to where we notice things that otherwise would not have been noticed, say 10, 15 years ago, where it had always been. I'm a Star Trek fan. Okay. That's where I learned social justice. Absolutely. Was watching Star Trek. So, I mean, not so much the original series, but definitely The Next Generation and, the shows that followed. So, I mean, I don't know. I think as a society, we've all kind of developed, or as consumers of media and mostly movies and stuff, we're aware of it. And that's why it's so noticeable now. Where it's like it said, it's always kind of been there. It's just maybe we haven't noticed it as much.
And it's because we can't move on and we have to keep dragging these IPs kicking and screaming into modern day that we have the problem, right?
Yeah. Nostalgia is a cash cow right now.
Well, so. I mean, I had this as a topic earlier on because I was just, at the minute, just off the top of my head, so you've got True Lies is being made into a TV series. Yeah, by McG, which, that sends you down my
Yeah, that says all you need to know right there.
Yeah, exactly. And then you've got Quantum Leaps coming back.
Yeah, I'm happy about that.
Yeah, I know, right? And then you've got League of Extraordinary Gentlemen is getting a film reboot.
That needs to be done right.
Yeah, and then you've even got a Gremlins animated series coming up, The Secrets of the Mogwai. Right, so these are all massive nostalgia bubbles that are they are gonna tweak people's opinions and
people
you're going to get a lot of rage.
Though.
But that's because we're not bringing
Hollywood, but people like to watch what they're used to. Just like
I get that, right? But but dragging those into modern times, as somebody said, is a very difficult tightrope to walk. And if there were more original writers and there were more original TV programs, etc., we wouldn't find it that hard to be moving along. It's because as I said, when we're weaponizing it, it's because these memories are strong for people, and people will get over opinionated on things that they've got nostalgia for. But Hollywood, they must be making money out of this somewhere because they keep doing it. And the Star Trek franchise is a massive example of that.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people respond differently to change.
Yeah. Well, let's get a little bit more into this video. Man, this topic got really heated.
I don't know how
Max,
everyone
I
got
can't-
all opinionated about.
We're calm now. We're
Rippa's
calm down now.
First, all he said was something about social
24
justice
seconds,
intro. You all assume what he's going to say. You're probably right, but
No, he said
we're talking
it. He
about
said
Gremlins. We're talking
hijacked
about
it.
Gremlins, and I don't know. X-Men is fine. Star Trek was fine. It's new age social justice is just nitpicking now. I don't think there's
if you don't think
wrong.
the right is social justice nitpicking too.
I don't care about politics, Max. I don't care about the right or the left. I just care about people in general. And I think they're bored. I think they're bored, and they just want to find little things to be angry about.
Yeah, 24 seconds.
There's no racism. There's no racism. There's no discrimination. There's people out there that are racist. There's people that are out there that will discriminate.
You're going to get us demonetized.
There's oh, shut up, Max. Ism. There's so many isms out there. Yeah, but that's individual. Racism is illegal. Discrimination is illegal before it wasn't.
Okay.
But now it is. Okay, there's always going to be, but there's always going to be people out there that are discriminatory or racist. But that's because people are different and weird. But legally, it's all gone, and you can sue. You can sue for it.
You can sue.
Okay, and you'll win. Most likely, you'll win, but sometimes you won't because the world is not fair. The world is not a fair and safe place. No, I will not turn my mic down. Jesus fucking Christ!
Come on, Max. Let's move it along. Come on.
Move along.
Let's go. Come on.
Social justice has always been a part of comics thing. The go-to cliche that they use is referencing the X-Men as an example of this. There are usually two claims that are often misunderstood, very misunderstood, surrounding this idea. One, they say that the X-Men was flat out created to be social justice. And two, the Magneto and Professor X, that whole conflict, they were created to represent MLK and Malcolm X. Both of these are...
Well, here, I will immediately say he's going to straw man argument and proposing an argument that not a lot of people are making, that it was solely only there for justice. There's lots of reason for the X-Men to exist. There's a strong reason. That's a strong part of them, but that's, that it was only created there. And he's doing the same thing with the Malcolm X and Martin Luther King example.
X-Men isn't even in the first place. I saw a comic book call out stuff like this. It was Green Arrow and Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm. There's always been this in comics, as far as I can, Any comment, Ramblin', Anthony, Bob?
Yeah, I just wanted to say, when I first saw X-Men as a child, I saw the cartoon series before I read the comics. But I always read into it that because I was bullied and quite put off to the side and felt a bit segregated in school. I always saw it as a bit of a reinforcement of groups and being against marginalization of anybody.
Yeah,
you know what I'm trying to get at.
I can relate to Bob in a big way. Like when I was growing up in school, I was bullied, isolated, and you feel like you don't have a voice. You don't feel, like you can really relate to anything. And I related to these characters too, because they come from different places in the world and the different problems. And, that's that relatability is a big thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I agree, Hans. Lots of people do, but we can't ignore the history of of how some even families got here in America or across the world. How their families got here.
We don't have to ignore the history, but we don't have to harp on it every freaking day.
No, but it's where they got now. And where some of these institutions were, a lot of the funds originally came from, the backs off their ancestors. Honestly,
well, that's in the past.
And people's wealth now, a lot of it is such thing as a self-made man or woman, but a lot of it comes from the past.
Yeah, old money.
You can't ignore it
Yeah, there's old money, Max. But if you want to be
I've been really trying to ignore this example. But if you don't see the parallels of a bunch of people based on their skin color, Keller, skin color. I was really trying to avoid this scenario. But if you can't see that there's a difference with a different skin colors going to the Capitol to protest and what would happen, I honestly think there's a difference of what would happen based on skin color.
I don't know what you're talking about. And Young Ripper hasn't even gotten into his subject yet. You just paused him again. He still hasn't given you any context.
No. I'm just saying, you don't see the difference there that we've progressed. Things are more an equal playing field than people like to say.
Well, how equal do you want people to be? To everyone is exactly the same, robotic,
and like just for an example, you can't talk about the injustices for people, Black Americans with the police, but we're so obsessed with how fictional white characters are is ridiculous on the online discourse.
Yes. Well, that's online. I hate America sometimes because we're so obsessed with everything.
Go ahead, Ramblin'.
This is not what he's saying, though, is it? We're kind of taking that away.
Oh, we're going. It's my fault. All right.
Play the video.
Partially false or entirely false, depending on the narrative. Notice these claims are hardly ever backed up with anything other than like some headline of an article. First and foremost, no, Stan Lee did not create Magneto and Professor X with the sole intent of having them be analogies for MLK and Malcolm X. They weren't even specifically created to represent the civil rights era. If you read the X-Men when it first came out, it's not even remotely analogous to the civil rights era. So it makes sense as to why Stan Lee said in an interview that the metaphor was given to him more so as a gift. It like fell in his lap. He didn't specifically create it, and he didn't create the comic to represent the civil rights era. It was more of a case that there happened to be a metaphor at the time that.
So can we discuss that, because that's actually a quote from Stan Lee that it was a gift, so it may even made the content better, that he's not his sole purpose, but he's spinning it in a negative, for saying that it wasn't meant for that, that wasn't intention. But if Stan Lee's words are saying this is a gift, doesn't that make it more impactful and even better, the content, or not his sole intention, but his added benefit? What do you think of Stan Lee's comments there?
Well, he didn't read the whole thing. He just highlighted it was given to me as a gift. The whole thing says it came along the minute I thought of the X-Men and Professor X. I realized that I had that metaphor, which was great. It was given to me as a gift because it made the stories more than just a good guy fighting a bad guy.
Okay.
Reading that full context, it isn't just just picking apart that one sentence, like it kind of takes away from the whole quote, which is not that long.
Out of context. Okay. Yeah, let's go back here, because I missed that too as well.
Oh no, he's cherry picking.
Yeah, because he said it was given to me as a gift. He said, "Oh, it wasn't created and intended for that, but it came along the minute I thought of it." Of X-Men and Professor X. So
excellent work, Justin. That was I missed that too. I was so focused on that part. That's a great point. The whole context of the quote there. Great job.
Yeah. So he thought he probably came up with it, and then realized, pretty early on, oh, there's this metaphor that I could work with. Okay. Let's roll with it. Let's see where it goes.
And it made the stories more than just a good guy fighting a bad guy. So it was there at the base level of the creation of the X-Men, based on this context here, right? Do you agree with that, Ramblin'? What do you think of this full quote, Bob?
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, it was as part of the concept of X-Men. And this guy's just taking it out of context.
Yeah.
I like cherry picking.
I honestly don't think you'll find many people who've enjoyed X-Men over the years who would agree with this take at all.
Yeah,
and certainly taking quotes out of context.
So he's actually proving the opposite with highlighting this, and at the very beginning, this is Stanley talking about the very beginning of the creation of this series. You know.
Well, I want to re-listen to what he said around the quote, like a little before.
Sure, and I apologize, Justin. Excellent work there. I missed that.
Oh, don't apologize. That's what I'm partially here for.
Yeah.
It's not even remotely analogous to the civil rights era. So it makes sense as to why Stan Lee said in an interview that the metaphor was given to him more so as a gift. It like fell in his lap. He didn't specifically create it, and he didn't create the comic to represent the civil rights era. It was more of a case that there happened to be a metaphor at the time that could really make the narrative more relatable. He even admits that any sort of portrayal in terms of Magneto being Malcolm and Professor X being like MLK was something that was done unconsciously. He literally says that himself. He didn't try to do it. This makes sense.
But doesn't that prove that subconsciously when these creators were doing this in the past, even that what's happening in the real world impacts all your art? It can impact your art. You know,
absolutely. I remember Night of the Living Dead. That was more intentional. How many of you guys have seen that movie?
Yeah.
Okay. So the guy, the lead, spoiler alert, the black lead that we've been following for most of the movie, comes out with a rifle in his hand, and he gets shot by the police. That was done very intentionally, not subtle whatsoever. It's like, okay, you just shot him because he's been up all night and he looks like he's walking like the living dead, and so they just shot him instead of asking him a question or something. So that's one of those examples that's more explicitly about the civil rights movement, as opposed to maybe this where it's more metaphoric. But again, these are original creations, I guess, at the time. So it's when you try to add it in later on, when it's already pre-established, that people will have a problem with.
Yeah, go on, sorry.
Oh, well, I was just going to say, for example, there was somebody who tweeted out, like, "Get woke, go broke," that old saying that's been flown around the internet for years now. But it was just a Netflix original series about a gay couple. Had nothing to do with anything that was made before. It was just about a gay couple. And I was like, why get woke and broke? Get woke, go broke. Like, why? Why? Because it features a gay couple? Who cares? Who cares about that? It's not like it's thrown into Spider-Man where Peter Parker is now gay and just is like, sorry, MJ, I'm gonna friend zone you. It turns out that I have these inner feelings. Like, what the? No, that's not what's happening at all. So I don't understand that. When we try to go forward and be like, hey, let's not just like blatantly throw these things in here when they don't fit. Now it's like, okay, you want to just shame the original ideas. This is what we're supposed to be encouraging in the first place, so they don't have to go back to our beloved franchises and just pull this bullshit.
Well, I just think it's it's a totally ignorant statement, whether it's about the X-Men or anything creative. I'm sure a lot of people on the panel I know Bob does a lot of music, and creatively, your environment, Bob, helps you develop your music and your musical style, or you take in what's around you, and that's how you create your art. To say that it's almost wrong, yeah, exactly. It's almost like saying that because it's subconscious, it's wrong. I mean, the subconscious mind is an amazing thing, and if that makes you churn your art, or it helps you develop your art, or even guide your art in any sort of way, that's only natural, isn't it? Or am I just being stupid?
No, you're right.
So it's just an ignorant statement. It comes from somebody who's not creative, it's somebody who wants to be negative about things, and he probably hasn't done anything creative in his life. Because
no, he is very creative. He is
Is he?
He's a good musician.
Right. So you telling me his environment and his subconscious does not play an active part in his art? It must do. And to say something, an idea comes.
A lot of his art is political.
Well, no, I'm not even talking politics. It could be anything, couldn't it? Right?
Yeah.
The subconscious mind is always, and you know, somebody pointed out if you look at any, I mean, somebody just mentioned Lord of the Rings. Yeah, it was a World War II analogy. Exactly. But we don't look at it like that. When we look at it deeply, we can see what it was, you know, why it was written and why he wrote it. And that influenced both his conscious mind and his subconscious mind. So I don't get it. It's very ignorant, especially if he is, as you say, creative.
Well, what's frustrating with this particular individual is he is talented. He's a good rapper and he is making his own comics, but he goes more, in my subjective opinion, he goes more to the hating other stuff to prop up yours. And there's if you're a content creator online, that's the best way to sell your product is to bash the other side and say yours is better or yours doesn't have this. But I haven't listened to a lot of his music, but I easily see the influence of his politics in there too. If it's not your politics, then it's SJW influence.
I don't think he was necessarily talking about politics. And somebody says put on there he'd be happy to debate. Well, then let him debate. No, nobody's from safety of our channel. That's lies. I'm sure we're all more than happy to debate him if that's what he wants, and if he wants to make a response video to this, which he probably won't. But that's what happens.
Well, he has before, yeah. Anyone else?
Nobody's going online, and it's not a safe environment for anybody who says it's a safe environment.
I want to read the room here to see how much longer we want to react to this and get to other topics too, because we'll do a few more minutes. I don't think we'll go the whole 9 minutes because we wanted to cover other stuff too, right?
Yeah.
And I apologize. I'm a little off my game today. I'm when you ever my thoughts aren't coming out the way I want them to, so I apologize to everyone. I did just wake up and get ready. All right,
you should have had a longer nap, Max.
No, my coffee isn't hit yet. I'm drinking
again because Magneto in his first appearances was just a regular cutthroat sort of villain. Professor X and the X-Men sort of stood in his way. He was a supremacist in a sense. He had intentions of ruling the world and the lesser humans, not any sort of common goal with Professor X. Don't take my word.
I agree with that part. He was a little bit of this. Go ahead.
Well, in that last quote that he pulled up, like Stanley said that he always intended Magneto not to be 100% bad. So again, this guy's wrong.
Okay. At certain points in the comics, though, Magneto is so frustrated with the prejudices of humans that he just goes the opposite. It's like a warning to what can happen if you don't go the Professor X route, right? That you just become you become what you hate, right?
I was going to touch on that because with later development of Magneto, with his history in World War II, he's obviously becoming like kind of a bad person, like with parallels to like that regime.
Yeah, but if you go ahead, sorry. Anthony, go ahead. No, sure, go ahead.
Also because Eric Lyncher has seen the evils that humans can do.
Yeah.
But you can read. But that's the great thing about the X-Men. We all take different things from it. We probably do because we can relate to something in our own lives. That's why that series people get so passionate about it. I think it's because what Bob saw in it, what Anthony saw in it, I didn't necessarily see, but there was something in there for me that got me hooked. And it's a broad church, so. I don't understand where he's coming from.
Okay, we'll watch we'll go to 4 minutes in, and then we'll switch topics because I know there's a lot of other topics to cover. I'm so and I apologize, Justin. You gave the best. I think you gave the best criticism in there. I'll be honest with you. Sometimes I get so annoyed that I miss things as well. The full context is extremely in this day and age. Context is so important. And that whole context there just proves to me even more so. And it's because, thank you to Ripa, that I even know that quote. I didn't search it out from Stan Lee, that it's so intrinsic to the foundations of the X-Men that he said this made it better. It made it more than just a bad guy versus good guy. And that's why I really love that's one of my favorite groups of superheroes. Yeah. But I really appreciate it. I thank you to Justin and to Ripa, actually, because I didn't search out that quote. I should search out more Stan Lee quotes, honestly. He had so much to offer besides just cameos, you know?
Yeah, he had many years with us to share with us his thoughts and feelings on the projects he created. So
yeah, but I love that. I love that quote. Now I want to keep that in my back pocket to bring up to show how important it makes the story better. This is where social justice issues, to me personally, makes it more impactful and more than just bad guy versus good guy. And I mean, before we go further, subjectively, like if you don't, to me, I've gotten to the point where if there's not some type of commentary or some type of adapting to current environment, it becomes sterile and generic to me, honestly. If there's not some of it, there's nuance for sure. Jumping the shark is obnoxious and annoying to me too. But if there's nothing there and it's just sterile and generic, I feel that way. But let's get to, Chris, Justin, and then Ramblin'. If there's not some commentary or some type of adapting to the current audience, how do you feel it is? Is that something you want, or do you see my opinion where it can become generic and sterile and
pop culture will always mirror current events?
Yes,
it always has.
Yeah,
it progresses at its own pace,
Mm-hmm.
Hence the term pop culture. I mean, that's why it's there. It does what it says on the tin. So it will always advance. I agree, Chris, completely.
Mm-hmm. Justin,
I'm good.
Okay. Anthony, Bob, Ramblin'. Okay.
Huh? Yeah. No, we're good.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Well, I guess the last thing I'll say is just reiterating what I said before. It's fine if it's original and if it means something to you, but don't go into other franchises as a newbie and try to put your own modern take into it. That's something that bothers me personally.
I understand that, but there is room for it though too. I think there's room for everything, honestly.
It's gonna take a while for me to really come around and see that, because right now I don't. It's just especially when it's just completely random and out of nowhere. It's like, okay, and what was the point of that? When it doesn't have a place is where I have a problem.
Well, I totally get you, Justin. This is where it's going to subjectivity. Like some people think it's out of place, some people see that it's natural. I honestly think I don't see a lot of out of place stuff. Personally, I don't.
It's definitely out there, mate. It's definitely out there, Matt.
Okay,
it's definitely out there.
I do see it occasionally, but not nearly as much as the internet sees it. I'm like, really? You were thinking that? Like, okay. All right, let's move on. I apologize. Let's go.
Anything, just go read the comics starting in 1963 up until really the damn 80s. To say that they were specifically created to be metaphors for the civil rights era.
He's going to the thing specifically created, though. Do a lot of people say that, though? Do a lot of people say it was specifically created for that? Do you hear that argument a lot?
Well, I mean, it does I kind of am now understanding what he was trying to say with the Stan Lee quote, because, yeah, of course, he did say, like, the minute I thought of it, and yeah, he thought of it, but he didn't think about the civil rights aspect until after he started working on it, that he was like, oh, wait, this would be good. So it is technically correct that it wasn't just like, hey, let's make a civil rights superhero kind of thing. No, it's not what happened.
It's the creative process, though, that he thought of it, and then he said it was a gift, like it was even more impactful once he thought of that.
Well, that's my whole point. It probably didn't start off down there, but like you said, it's the creative process, right? going back to my thing about creativity and using what's around you. I've never really heard the argument that it was specifically set up for anything, for one particular individual subject. Like I said, the X-Men covers so many different things for so many different people, but it would have been impossible to start off on that journey with only one perspective about one thing. Yeah. So I can't see how it's even relevant.
Well, his words of saying a gift means it was important. That's all I need to take from it. In my opinion, well, if you use the word gift, that means it's important to you, right?
Yeah. 100%. Yeah.
All right. We'll watch a minute more and then we'll move on because I think there's not much to gain.
Lazy, it's flat out and verifiably false. It wasn't until the 80s when Magneto became more of a villain that people sort of tried to sympathize with, and he had that past intertwined with Professor X. That was actually a bit of a retcon. So if the SJWs read comics, which they don't, they'd understand this. Chris Claremont's era of X-Men is way more analogous to that era, but even that isn't specifically referenced to the Civil Rights era. Again, that's something that he could.
Okay. They don't, like, at all? Like, none of them? At all? I don't know. It's kind of like saying, like, gay people don't mow the lawn. Yes, they do. Like, I don't understand that part.
No, I don't.
That's what I'm confused about. Well, sometimes when people are creating it, I understand. Like, it's just like they're just doing it for a job and to make money, and so just doing it as a cash grab. That argument could work, but just saying like just. None of them. Nobody who believes in social justice reads comics. Like none of them at all.
That's
I don't get that.
He just says that to trigger hate watchers, which maybe I'm part of the problem.
I mean, I would just like him to be more specific and elaborate on that. Is what I am trying to say.
That's a consistent talking point to like piss people off. I don't think there's much substance. Like you don't pay for it, you don't really care. You just here for the social justice angle. You don't really care about the content. You don't pay for anything. Like the go woke, go broke talking point. They don't really pay for anything. They just want to complain.
Yeah.
But there is a market for it.
Yeah.
I think Days likes this guy.
I mean, like I don't necessarily agree with it, but there is a market, I suppose. But I don't know. In turn, you will piss off fans who don't agree with it too. So it's like, is it worth the risk? I don't know.
All right. Should we move up, Ramblin'? What do you think? Should we move on?
Give it another 30 seconds. See what he's got.
Yeah.
I'll shut up about it.
No. You're
don't
great.
do that.
Justin, you're doing great talking points here. Yeah. I love it.
Clearly admits in interviews, he said that the metaphors he thought about were along the lines of Begin and the Israeli dichotomy, not the civil rights dichotomy. Again, something else he admitted in interviews. So factually speaking, not opinion, the X-Men were not created to represent the civil rights era by way of Stan Lee and even the retcon of X and Magneto during Claremont's
run. Stop that? Can you just stop that? Because he's going on about, right. So again, now you could use that. He's just using a different analogy about the Israeli situation. Okay. Mm-hmm. So, he could be right about that. He could well be right about that because obviously Magneto, went through the Nazi atrocities, etc., as did all Jewish people. And some would say that the Israelis are currently more right-wing than any country in the world because of certain policies they have. And in a lot of people's eyes, in a lot of different countries, they are seen as the devil. I'm not saying they are. I'm not saying they're not. But I can see where he's coming through with that analogy. But it's still a political analogy, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's still based on politics.
The X-Men maybe
it did start
different
with
set
that
of
analogy.
politics or different scenario, but it transcends just one civil rights movement.
We should distinguish.
So that is
politics
that is a civil rights interest. Yeah.
Sorry, what was that?
I just said it's just a different take on politics.
Yes, and maybe the distinction that we could probably have a common ground in is we should try to distinguish between just the social justice warriors, the ones who are on Twitter complaining about everything under the moon and or under the sun, depending on the time of day or night. Sorry, that was silly. But between just the social justice crap and just politics.
Well, he's splitting hairs. It's word salad. It's semantics. Yeah. He's saying it wasn't specifically created for that. No, maybe not, Ripa, but it definitely became that. It may not have been specifically created for that, but it definitely became that.
Well, he's proposing a scenario that very little people, like that dude Vince, trying to make people look silly by arguing an argument that hasn't been made. This is the straw man argument. You propose it, you rephrase it, and say this is what people are saying to make people look stupid, when very few people are saying that was the sole purpose. And he's done a bad job of it, honestly, in this video. He's done a bad job of.
But can anybody name an IP where the initial thoughts of the writers or the aims of the writers has not deviated or evolved, or what IP has stayed exactly the same throughout its whole history? Of course, it's going to evolve. Of course, the metaphors can be used for. You can update the metaphors, right? That's the whole point of the X-Men,
right?
You can update the metaphors.
Yeah, exactly. And this is, I may get this phrase. I may get this phrase completely wrong, but this is a phrase I've heard a lot: is death of the author. That once you've authored the product and put it out there, the interpretation is out there for the public to interpret. Just because the X-Men may not have been specifically about the civil rights movement, there's many other movements that people could draw parallels with to the X-Men, which wasn't the original intent, which is just as relevant as any other movement. Like, for example, as a young man, I used to think at first, I thought that the X-Men was drawing more parallels with the gay movement about the inclusion and segregation of that situation.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you said 30. We'll do 12 more seconds to see if he has a point, and then we'll go on to other topics, because I know Ramblin' said he's only got another hour or close to another hour. So
I got about 20 minutes.
Okay.
They weren't created as such. Now that this is out the way, it is no secret that the X-Men have had stories created around them that can absolutely be interpreted in multiple ways. That's what good writers are able to do. Wow. It's also not a secret that mutants have been disenfranchised at times. X-Men have been the enemy of not only the standard villains, but governments and the citizens among them, though not always. This conflict has made for some very classic storylines and became the identity of the X-Men. The problem is that the social justice advocates conflate this with social justice. This is why I think that they are projecting when they say things like, everyone you dislike is a social justice warrior, according to you. No. I think that everything that you do like is something that you like to claim is related to social justice. Anybody with half a brain, however, understands that heroes being disenfranchised, or aliens or types of people being enfranchised and made to be the enemies of others because they are different is not exclusive to social justice. In fact, I'd argue that just about every single mainstream comic book character has had some sort of conflict where they have people or types of people that are disliking them because of what they are. This isn't even exclusive to the X-Men or mutants. This is also a self-defeating point.
Okay. I think that's what I think we've had enough.
Well, no, but then he started making sense. Apart from the fact that he's thrown in that that SJWs are getting involved and they don't like anything out of there. That's just a really broad statement. I mean, whatever my political leanings are, and again, maybe it's just my country, and the people that I socialise with, but. No, not everything I like is because of one thing or another. Like I said, in our country, our culture is based on many different things and many different bits of politics that have created our society that we live with day by day. So it has absolutely common ground. It's absolutely nothing. I mean, he's creating a really false narrative.
Yeah, and I don't know if
that only exists in certain people's. I'm sorry, but he's blaming it, a certain political class or a particular political belief. And then he goes on and really spouts his political beliefs and what he thinks of all of that. So he's no better than the people he's trying to critique.
Somebody's hate.
Yeah.
And like, without watching the rest of the video, I don't know the whole context and information in it, but it just sounds to me like this guy has a bee in his bonnet and is trying to make an inflammatory video.
Oh yeah.
That's
what
that's
they
part
do.
of the YouTube. Yeah,
that's what they do.
He profits a lot off of doing that. Yes, there's a lot of money to be made, and that's those talking points. Really to prop up especially if you're selling something else. If you're selling your own comic, your own music, and your own art, and saying that mine's not tainted, that's the strong way to that's a profitable way, not strong. It's a profitable way to prop up your own product. Yeah. Any other closing thoughts, Chris, Justin? We could talk about some other stuff here too.
Yeah.
I honestly think we could pick apart. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't like that dude.
I like him. I like him fine. He just has he has an opinion. It's not.
Of course, it's an opinion.
Yeah, it's not wrong. It's an opinion. I mean, there could be facts in there that are wrong, but it's just an opinion, and that's fine. It's nice to.
Yeah, I don't have hate in my heart for Young Ripa. I think he's. I actually give him a lot of credit if he's so critical of something that he creates his own art. I just don't like when you trash other stuff to prop up yours when it's not really there, and hyperbolic statements.
I just don't like those groups of people that make those shitty videos just to trigger other individuals. I don't like that shit.
I mean, I'm probably going to make a video on how the Never-Ending Story sucks, but hey, it's not just.
That's different, though. You don't like to. That's different. You're not doing it just to piss people off, and you're not going to do it on a daily basis for years on end.
Right. I mean, I have for a few years have been spouting hate for that movie and how crappy Falcor is, and how it looks like he's on acid or something, and it's creepy and whatever. But it's kind of my opinion. It is hyperbolic, but it's for me it's more comedic because people who like the movie, will see that there's a lot of hyperbolism in the arguments, and it's not meant to be taken seriously. It's a movie for
no, I don't take that
10-year-olds
seriously. Now, when somebody tells me what my opinion should be, you'll see me get heated like I did earlier. I don't like being told what my opinion should be. Like that bothers me.
Well, your opinion should be no. No.
I just think there were too many unreliable narrators on YouTube.
Yeah, my suggestion would be not to just watch one side of the aisle.
Yes.
If you can.
Challenge yourself.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, try to watch videos that, from people that you may not agree with. And if for me, it's like, I try that with more reasonable people who are grounded. And if they just have a different opinion, that's great. Now, if they're like the Young Turks, oh my God, I want to throw up. Like, no.
I watch the Young Turks.
Yeah, but
I watch everything though.
Yeah, I try to get a sense of who everybody is, and I don't like them or their takes, but like if I go to Bill Maher is more my style.
Ramblin' Man out. Anthony Grigsby, we're gonna get his channel moving too, but go sub to Ramblin' Man. We're multi-streaming. Ramblin', this is your show now. We're multi-streaming on your channel.
That's true. I can't do that.
We got 45 people watching. Come on, help a young content. Not
young.
Not young. But a growing
new content creator.
New content creator. Yes.
I think he looks rather young.
He's a nice dude.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm a grandfather. Okay. Thank you.
Oh, a 30-year-old grandfather. Wow.
30. Can we have
Isn't it great, Justin and Chris, to make some international friends and talk of it? Isn't it great to get different perspectives around the world?
It is great.
Exactly. What opened my mind to that was these two New Zealand guys coming to Star Wars Celebration and saying how much they like the sequel trilogy. I'm like, you guys came out all the way from New Zealand to Chicago. How can I not call you a Star Wars fan? How can I sit and look at you dead in the face, spending thousands of dollars here, just to be here. I can't do that. I cannot, with a good moral compass, say that. So everyone has those points, and that was mine.
Great way to switch gears now.
What's that?
This is a great way now to switch gears.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
Definitely.
I agree.
Okay. All right, Anthony. What did you want to talk about? Did you want to talk about the Amber Heard?
We'll leave that to the end. Leave that to the end.
She-Hulk. And what any She-Hulk fans here?
Yes. Leave the trial to the end because I have nothing to say on it.
Did you see the She-Hulk trailer?
Yeah.
Yes.
And
can I just say hello to Tommy? He's asked how I am. I'm good, fella. Thank you.
Oh yeah, Tommy, you're welcome here anytime. You know, Tommy Uyamiko.
Am I the only one who thinks She-Hulk is kind of a dumb name? It's a little silly.
Can I just say, the Hulk, what they've done to him, like being Professor Hulk, I mean, they've totally taken him away from how Hulk should be. That incredible Hulk, the fierceness and that ferocity of Hulk, is now replaced with Professor Hulk. And they've really got to find a way to get him back to how he should be.
Well, I'm hoping because the characters are too similar now, aren't they? She-Hulk, Professor Hulk, they're way too similar. So I'm hoping this will give them the opportunity to pivot Professor Hulk away to what we actually want to see now.
Yeah, and how good is it to see Tim Roth back?
Brilliant. Great actor.
Brilliant.
Love Tim Roth. He's a great actor.
He's
great. But the actress is great too. She's been in some really good films, and I reckon she's doing really well, for herself being in this. And with regard to the CGI, but still, she's funny, and so it's really going to be interesting to watch.
Oh, Devin. Hey, if you have an issue with it, get in here, Devin.
Yeah.
Constant Professor Hulk bashing is about to make him lose his shit.
Oh no, forgive me. I'm not bashing. I just said I do want to see them.
I like Hulk smash. I'm sorry.
Hulk's ferocity. I want to see them, return to how Hulk should be and not dumbed down, but just want him to go back to that,
Yeah, it's just time for the character to move on. That's simple, and hopefully, because the characters and their portrayal are quite similar now, then it just gives them a chance to pivot. I'm hoping that's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's kind of a shame that I don't think we'll ever get a proper Mark Ruffalo Hulk movie.
Well, we can't. They can't because of the rights. They can't just do it him alone.
Why I think it's a shame.
I actually think this show is going to have a lot of Hulk in it, and it's basically going to be a She-Hulk show.
And obviously,
it's a team up.
Yeah,
exactly. So it could be a switch and bait, but the other way around this time.
Oh, the bait and switch. Yeah. This is the most topical. This is the most popular talking point on the internet right now. The bait and switch. It's not really about.
It's not really about Boba Fett.
No, but you're right, Justin. But there is some substance to it. It's really about Mandalorian.
It is. It's just. Yeah. Even though that series was awful, but whatever, that's fine. But yeah, I've noticed that, and people are speculating Kenobi's gonna be a bait and switch. I'm curious what people would think.
No spoilers here though, because I've avoided spoilers for a while, Justin. I'm not saying you are, but I've been really trying hard to avoid the Obi-Wan. But I know people are saying, "Oh, it's really her story." And in all the press, she is prominently focused along with Obi-Wan and Deborah Chow, so that's significant. So I do have my own predictions too.
Yeah, so wouldn't it be interesting what the reaction is if, She-Hulk comes out? Is this going to be a series? Is it going to be a Disney Plus?
Plus series, yeah.
Oh, sorry, Justin.
Oh, I was just going to say what's the reaction going to be if it's more centered on Mark Ruffalo and
it's the bait and switch.
Is that going to be it wouldn't it be interesting if that was received
an opposite bait and switch?
Yeah.
Yes, because then that'd be hypocritical that always say women get it becomes a woman character.
Well, there was the talk originally.
That's a good point, Justin.
Well, that was the point I was trying to make, but Justin said it so much better.
Before sadly William Hurt passing away, there was talk that they were going to do Thunderbolts, and the Red Hulk, and obviously now that he's gone, I do still think that this is going to lead into a momentum for Hulk to get his own film. But like her being in this, it says a lot. And with Tim Roth returning and Abomination featuring in Shang-Chi, and now being in She-Hulk, there's got to be, that momentum. There is something got to be happening with that. But yeah, sadly, we won't see, Red Hulk, unless they somehow, I don't know how the estate of William Hurt would go with it, but if they used some footage, or if maybe they filmed anything with him before he passed away, you don't know. I mean, because if you look at what they did with him in Incredible Hulk, and he found the super soldier serum, and what they were trying to establish then, I know they didn't really get to continue that storyline enough, but there was so much potential there. There really was.
Chris, what do you think? Do we get a bait and switch where it's more of a Hulk story than a She-Hulk story?
I think they're going to get equal time. I think people will accuse it of that. And even if, the Hulk could have 7 of the 9 episodes or whatever, and people would still be like, man, it's fucking MCU. It's too many. They're going to do that no matter what, bro. The Hulk could be, like Adam Ollinger did a great video about it the other day where he mentioned all the men that have starred in every comic book movie. And then he mentioned all the women that had prominent roles, and it broke out almost completely even. You know what I mean? He made them look stupid, but that's what Adam does. He's good at that. He's good at making that whole side look stupid. If it's a bait and switch, I'm okay. I mean, you're saying like a reverse one, right? If it's all Hulk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would anyone complain?
As much
this is a bait and switch. It wasn't about She-Hulk at all. It was
the
about
MCU. Look, the way they're calling it the MCU, and as much as they're bitching about the trailer and they're mad about everything, and they're trying to bash this IP, the minute if it was a reverse bait and switch, this would become their favorite Marvel show.
Yeah, exactly right.
They'd be campaigning to get Gina Carano in it.
Well, maybe the one way that someone would spin this, and I would kind of agree with it, is if they are laughing at the social justice people who get mad that it was a bait and switch, whereas they were upset. They were happy. Oh yes, all these women are in here. Isn't this great? But hey, you bait and switched She-Hulk. It's like, haha, hypocrites, pointing that out. That's where it's like, haha, get a taste of your own medicine. Like, now you know how it feels. Now let's, in my mind, in a perfect world, now let's come together and say, hey, bait and switch probably isn't that great.
We'll ramble in our international.
Is that a good compromise?
Yeah.
Sure.
What did you think of the trailer besides the focus on She-Hulk or He-Hulk? Is it He-Hulk? No, it's Hulk.
I mean, depends on how progressive they go.
Yeah. Well, I think if it was really progressive, it would just be called Hulk, regardless, right? You don't say she or he.
They can't do that, unfortunately.
They should just, that would have triggered people if they just said this show's called the Hulk.
Immediately canceled.
Ooh, that would be amazing clickbait. They're changing the name of the show to Hulk.
There you go. There's your next video.
We're just gonna make up headlines.
And it's a bait and switch.
Yeah, that's the next one.
Where He-Hulk is the main.
He-Hulk.
I'd just like to throw a little speculation out here. What I think would be cool with this She-Hulk show is we've seen a bit of like mentoring going on between She-Hulk and Hulk. Like, what if like towards the end, like they actually go like bring back like angry Hulk, savage Hulk, and have She-Hulk facing off against Hulk, because that would be quite typical Marvel, having like same against same.
That's awesome. Alex, is it? I might change my video to called the Hulks.
Oh.
That does open up a can of worms.
But did you have it? Oh, go ahead.
Sorry.
Well, I was just gonna go around to you, Anthony, Bob, and Ramblin'. What did you think of the? Were you happy with the trailer? Do you have any concerns with the CGI, or what do you think of it?
The CGI, is questionable in some points, but I think it's funny. It looks really funny. It looks fun, but obviously, I think like the point that was just made that what if towards the end something happens with Hulk and we see her having to basically go up against him, and Abomination's going to be in it. They did show Abomination too, and that's an unfinished rivalry between him and Hulk. So that could be an interesting story arc there as well.
Hey, She-Hulk is kind of cute. Okay,
I think though, if you just called the show the Hulks, they would actually enjoy that, because they would just like try to spin a narrative how she took his last name. There were a couple that she took his last name or some shit or whatever.
Here was my thumbnail from the other day. Oh, sorry. Let's get woke. I want to be carried away like that at the end of the trailer.
I thought that was hilarious. Like he goes and takes some chips home, basically.
I knew the minute I saw it.
She picked him up. And
they were taking a shot at people, and then those people were like, "This audience is geared towards a certain individual, and they know exactly who it is." Basically, calling everybody a cuck or a simp that would think that was cool. She's a Hulk. What are you gonna do?
I want this to be a reality. Oh my dear Lord, especially Tatiana. I don't want to go too misogynistic, but Tatiana Maslany. Oh my God.
How is that misogynistic?
But to get to like,
she's beautiful. Oh, what a crime!
No,
sexist pig.
I don't want to over sexualize her, but oh my goodness, that's what I mean.
Issue with
I'm sure she's not going to be insulted.
Okay,
no, I do have a question though. I mean, like, there's kind of like a little bit of a nitpick for me, Okay, if she takes that guy into the bedroom and they do what we know they're going to do, right? How does he not get gamma poisoning?
Maybe that's the
what?
That's
how maybe he does.
Yeah. Okay. I was just checking. She's a giant radioactive chick.
Like he comes out and there's a green dick.
You know what I mean? Death by snoo.
Justin.
Is that technically an STI?
I'm not really sure what it is. I'm just saying she is a Hulk. Hulk get that way because of gamma radiation. Okay. You exchange fluids, he's gonna get gamma poisoning. Maybe he'll become another Hulk. Who knows?
Maybe.
But hey, why did we have that's misogynist? So, because why did we have that discussion when Hulk was laying it on the line, as it were?
He wasn't allowed to at first. Remember?
No, I know.
Now that he's smart Hulk,
I'm joking, Chris.
Yeah, but think about it. Now that he's smart Hulk can actually get some. Yeah. So
is the rubber going to stop gamma radiation? I don't think so.
Probably not. No, it's made of lead.
Probably not, King. No, I don't think so.
You could try to double bag it,
Well, wasn't there something in the Incredible Hulk with Edward Norton where they didn't do something in the bedroom? I don't remember.
Yeah, Liv Tyler she's like, we can't do anything, and he's like, no, we can't do anything because no matter how I get excited, it doesn't matter. Sexually, fear, anger. He turns into the Hulk and he starts destroying shit. Yeah. Because at that point, he goes mindless. What's her face? I always forget her real name.
Like Black Widow with Scarlett Johansson, in Avengers.
Yeah, they couldn't be together because of it.
Who hasn't had a boner rage once or twice in their life? I mean,
makes you wonder what would have happened had she not died, because she was in love with him.
Oh yeah.
My main issue with the trailer was something to go on side with the artist as well, the CGI artist, was how they like really shrunk She-Hulk down and made her quite thin and not as like muscly as she is in the comics.
Well, different versions of her. There's been there's one where she's more, sexy, curvy, and one where she's more Not that muscles aren't sexy too.
Ashley, are you just saying that, or do you know that for a fact? Is that like a real thing in the comic? Is that canon? She has lower levels, or are you just saying that?
Well, but the thing is, they hinted that she is going to be full hulked out when she takes him into the bedroom from the image. Like she's not in her lower levels of. I think that's what you're saying, right?
Oh, Ashley says it's a fact. She knows it for a fact. It's canon.
Okay.
She better not be trolling me, man. I'll look it up.
Because she didn't like return to norm. Oh, okay. So maybe she's not full hulked out there. I don't know.
Doesn't look like it.
Okay, so why did you put Grace Randolph in the thumbnail again?
He puts her in every thumbnail.
He puts her in everything. Yeah.
What?
Oh, is that just a
whether it's relevant or not?
Fake
news. We all know that
it's Grace reacting to me getting carried away from She-Hulk. Like, oh, that's not cool, Max. No. We actually reacted to Grace in the video.
You're trying to say she's jealous,
man. You were mine.
Yeah, she's jealous. She's jealous of the Hulk.
Yeah, she's jealous of me and She-Hulk. Yeah. Oh wow, Ashley's really getting facts in here.
Oh no, that's why I asked her. Like she's been down the rabbit hole for years.
Gamma levels are lower. That's what I'm saying. LOL. Okay. So
Well, from my point of view, I wasn't that excited about it, but I actually am now. So the trailers works for me.
Okay, so they're lower, but never mind. I'm not gonna say it.
Say it.
So if she goes into the bedroom, like okay, like but if Bruce were to do that and he hulks out,
he had uncontrolled gamma radiation that he was impacted by.
Yeah, true, but like if he gets bigger, everything else grows like enormously. Like
what?
That's going to lead to a lot of
internal damage
and just. I mean, aside from the gamma radiation, that's going to lead to a lot of complications.
Yes.
Yeah. So, like that, maybe that's an angle we could go with. Again, that's why I didn't want to talk about it.
Fair enough.
That actually, yes. As thinking about it, that's frightening. Like when the more and more he gets excited and angry, say angry. The more he gets pumped up, it's like Bane, and then it's like
there's liking it rough, and then there's like going too far.
It's like in the Incredible Hulk. He goes, "You won't like me when I'm angry." He goes, "You won't like me when I'm excited."
Well, yeah, right. So in I think in the Incredible Hulk or Edward Norton version, he's like, I can't. I'll get excited, and then that's gonna
you lose control.
You lose control. Yes.
Yeah,
man, that sucks. That's okay. I have an interesting question. Okay. What's the worst superpower? What's the worst superhero power? After this interesting discussion about gamma radiation, how it impacts you, and lovemaking, I would actually say before I thought it'd be cool to be the Hulk, but after that, no, thank you. Well, that would be torturous.
Maybe they might make him go.
You can't ever get excited.
Yeah, but they might just make him go full on Dr. Manhattan and just walk around with his Hulk Willy, mightn't they?
If it's huge and you can't use
it,
what's the point?
Well,
you've got characters like like Cyclops, for example. Like he's got to wear that visor, because of his eyes. And some
but he could still go to the bedroom with that on, though.
Do you think it's green?
He did.
Do you think it's green?
He did.
Like what color do you think it is?
Somebody said, "Oh, he could still go to bed with his visor on," and he did plenty of times.
Yeah.
Well, let's go around. What do you think, Bramblin? Well, who wants to
go
I'll
first? Have to think about that. Yeah.
Who would be the first? What is the worst superhero power to have?
A lot of them are bad.
What's that, Bob?
A lot of them are bad if you actually look at the logistics and the reality of them. Like super speed, you'd probably end up getting like killed by a speck of dust going through your head. So many bad powers. Like,
well, what's the best and the worst? I'm actually thinking that, the Hulk. I don't want to be the Hulk because of that situation. You can't even control your emotions without losing control.
I would have thought Rogue's character, because she can't even touch.
That's what I was going to say. Rogue.
Oh,
sorry about that. My alarm went off and I was in the other side of the room.
Yeah,
okay.
that's what I would have chosen Rogue.
Rogue can't even touch anyone without draining their energy and life source.
Yeah, that she can't either. What's worse though, Anthony? Good point. Do you think Rogue or Incredible Hulk?
Oh, well, Rogue can kill them straight away, and so can Hulk.
I would love that. That has one of the coolest powers though, too, to take anyone's other's powers away too. It's like,
oh yeah, you can use it for good, but definitely it's not good if you're like with someone that you love and you actually hurt them, let alone kill them.
Anyone else, Chris? What do you think is the worst superhero power to have? If you have
Rogues, never be able to touch somebody, never to know physical love. Like, and if you do trust, like even the simplest thing, like somebody's
help, right?
They help, but she can't kiss anybody. She can't, be penetrated. She can't have anything. She can't do anything. She'll never know physical love. And if she touches somebody, she could kill them.
Yeah, and also there's other factors. Like if you look into the comics, she actually absorbs their minds as well, which could be crazy, having multiple minds in your mind. But like Magneto did have sexual relations with Rogue using magnetic fields and stuff to protect himself in one timeline.
Well, that's complicated.
Yeah.
But it happened.
Yeah.
I think it just depends on how much you can control it and how much you can make it work. Obviously, being the Hulk would be the worst, to be honest. But if you are able to, like, a superpower that you can control, that'd be great. Like, I think the safest one for me, if I were to think about it, would be super strength. As long as you learn it, it doesn't just happen overnight. Well, it probably would, but once you learn how to control it, and then you build muscles, I don't know. I think that's a safe bet, because if you fly, all those bugs are going to fly in your face. You might have to wear goggles. I don't understand how Christopher Reeve can open his eyes while flying everywhere. Like, I can't fathom that. Or being invisible, people are going to run into you and shit like that. So that's not going to work either.
Well, I think the most boring one, the greatest one in real life, but the most boring one when it comes to comic book, it's got to be Cypher, isn't it? X-Men. In real life, you'd love Cypher. You'd love the ability to be able to translate any language with it, mentally. Yeah. In the real world, that would be an absolutely fantastic superpower, wouldn't it? To be able to do that, but it doesn't get you very far in the comic book world, unfortunately. So that's the most boring one.
As of right now, I'm going with the Hulk is the worst. The best one for me. I mean, it can't get better than Superman. He could do so many things that just kryptonite. I do like Magneto's power. That's really cool.
I'd go Magneto, man, but I'd probably just end up destroying everything with his powers.
What would make, which was the power that would tempt you the most to turn bad? Like I think Professor X being in people's minds would be
Purple Man.
Well, Purple Man was bad, but I mean, if you were gonna try to be good, but the power could skew you and turn you bad. I think Professor X for me would be the hardest temptation to like go in, because he actually, even though he's a good person, he's gone into people's mind without their permission too.
And we've also seen what can go wrong with his power too in Logan.
Yeah.
Not just Logan. We've seen what can go wrong if you try to invade the wrong woman's mind.
Oh yeah.
That's how you get your neck snapped, bruh.
Well, I'm gonna cross the gender boundaries, and I'd probably say I'd like to be Jean Grey.
Jean.
That's another. Yeah, she's another Professor X, but
she's another Professor
X,
way
stronger. Like
exactly.
Way stronger.
If we're going that route, it seems like we've gone from like best and worst superhero power to best and worst superhero to be. You know what? If we're gonna cross the gender boundary, Wonder Woman.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Why not just
I see that,
Superman
Justin.
and you can fly? Oh wait, Wonder Woman can fly now too.
I'm gonna make a meme with your head on Wonder, with those
You guys think too
I mean,
small.
talk about a great bait and switch that would be. A Wonder Woman series, and then it's about this guy Wonder Man. Like,
isn't there a Wonder Man? Is there one?
I don't know, and I don't want to
so.
see it.
I think there is a.
Is there?
I'm going to make a new character called Wonder Man. Put Justin's head on it. Wonder Man.
I think you guys think.
Anyways, I got to get going. Thanks for tolerating my presence.
No, thanks for coming on. It's been great with you.
Oh, absolutely. I'm glad I can mix it up a bit. All right, Wonder Man out. Peace.
Peace.
Bye.
You guys think too small. I would straight up take Franklin Richards' powers and just warp reality to my whim.
Wow.
Oh, somebody agrees with you.
Yeah, Franklin Richards is OP.
Well, PKL, Flash's ability to time travel is very tempting to have, but that could turn you dark. If you go back and adjust things to your benefit, you could, that's Flashpoint, right?
Franklin
couldn't
Richards
couldn't any superpower? Couldn't any superpower turn you dark? Pretty much.
There's a lot of them, yeah.
It just all depends on your morals, man.
Exactly.
That's why the boys is interesting. Man, did you see the new Boys trailer?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Amazing.
I'm so hyped. Hope it's better than season 2.
Yeah.
I liked season 2. I just the over the top violence I am okay with it, but it's like it gets to a point where just like the earlier topic in the show where we're talking about social justice is always there. There's always violence in these stories, but when it feels like it's just done to outgross you out.
I can only watch so many people explode.
It gets too much for me personally. And my wife after last season, she's like, I'm out. I can't watch.
Don't read the comics thing because I know they're much more graphic.
No, I know. I've heard.
Much more graphic. What does everybody think about
next
week? Wonder Man. There's so much going on next week. You're gonna have content for weeks, Max.
I can't wait.
What's happening next week?
You've got Obi-Wan and Stranger Things 4. They're coming out the same day, aren't they?
Yeah.
Ooh.
And you've got Top Gun 2.
You've
got Maverick.
Maverick, yep.
And Bob's Burger, which will probably be a sleeper, but it'll make money.
Do you think the release of Obi-Wan coming out same day as Stranger Things a strategic thing for Netflix?
Well, that's the question I was going to ask. Why are they releasing it the same day? I mean, they could easily reschedule this, but
while Star Wars Celebration is going on, what are they thinking? It's coming up.
But I think that's just Netflix being ballsy. I think more than anything.
Yeah, and the boys. Yeah, but it's going to be a really big week. Plus, I have to say, it's coming.
Oh, here we go.
Okay, this is the final week of the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard trial.
Oh, it is? Thank God.
And coming up. Sorry, Max.
No, it's fine. I know people like to talk about it.
I said to the boys earlier, this is
the boys.
The biggest.
Well, me, the boy. It was only me.
The boy. Yeah, the man boy. It's going to be this week is going to be the final arguments of both legal teams, and Johnny Depp's legal team has more time left than Amber's, but whatever happens, Johnny Depp, his court of public opinion has already proclaimed him, innocent, and or at least he's going to come out of this better than Amber Heard, and she has just it's going to be really bad for her, and I'm interested what other people's takes are.
There is a Wonder Man. Yes, I'm sorry to interrupt. Yes, I'm interested too to see what happens, but I was Googling. There is a Wonder Man.
No, you're right.
Yeah, it's a Marvel character though, isn't it?
Yeah. but not a proper DC Wonder Man.
No. I just googled it myself because I did think there was one, but there you go. Yeah, that's the one.
All right. Sorry to interrupt you.
Oh, you're right. I had a thought that Johnny Depp may end up suing Disney. Because
I don't think he has any cause to, because he lied to them about whether you like him or not. He did lie to them for insurance reasons, stuff that say he wasn't having issues. He consistently lied to them.
That would be a contentious issue, but they still use his likeness and all their rides around the world, and they profit off his character. But then again,
well, Pirates came out before him. I'm sure they have something in their contract that says that they can use his likeness. I'm sure.
To be removed from the film, still have your likeness be what they advertise for the attractions.
Yeah, but you don't know if that's still going to be the case. I mean, I don't think Disney would withdraw it now before the case has been solved, but who knows? They'll probably take that animatronic out eventually.
I would love to at least see that if he does win the case, right, that if he gets awarded any damages, that he will probably donate some to make a point to Amber. But I think straight away, if he does succeed, she will appeal, and this will get dragged out even longer. But a career resurgence hopefully does happen for Johnny. And she's been removed. What apparently is happening now, she's being removed from Aquaman 2, or like a lot of her roles being graded down, and but yeah, she hasn't done herself any favors at all. Those recordings are just fire.
Yeah. I hope he has a path forward. In my eyes, though, I don't really see he's much better. I do think he's better, but I think he's made just many mistakes. I don't think it's good for either of them, honestly.
No,
in my opinion. But I listen. I don't want men to be abused either. And that is something.
It was clearly an abusive relationship for both parties. In some form or another, it was an abusive relationship.
This is something that I think is a real issue. You know, we have all these victim men on the internet complaining about pop culture and fictional men characters. I shouldn't say white. Fictional men characters being oppressed. But there is a very real situation where men victims are not taken seriously or laughed at. Just be a man. That is still a real issue right now.
Yeah,
I absolutely could get behind. That's a very real issue, and to the point where there's video of Amber laughing at, who's going to believe you?
Yeah. That was. I mean, they made the most of that moment, which was quite good.
Very bad for her. Very bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what was that quote Amber came out with? Something along the lines of, "You're a drug user, come out with the abuse, no one's going to believe you." Like, that was pretty.
But that's pretty much echoes the public opinion about when a man speaks up about even sexual abuse or anything in the entertainment industry. No one takes it seriously, or we take it more seriously than we used to, but. That is something that we do need to progress on as well. There are men victims.
Yeah.
Oh wow, the Mikonator here.
So boom. Can anyone hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, go.
Okay.
What we got to say
going,
about
man?
it, Carl? Huh?
Hey.
How's it going, Carl?
Oh, all right. Finishing everything up, or trying to at least.
What are you up to?
Moving, either redoing, combining videos, or finishing up my adjustments to Twitter, etc., so forth.
Okay. So we had enough Amber Heard for tonight.
Yes.
Anthony, you sure?
Yeah.
We can have a big finale next week when it all comes down, but it won't.
Oh, that'll be exciting! Yeah.
Well, no, it's only ending, but then obviously the jury have got to go out and.
We've got to hear your weekly tips, Rambling Man.
Oh yeah, we have to get the weekly tips. You have to remind me to do my yard work.
Yeah,
I've been letting Rambling Man listen. That's your profession, right? You've done in the past.
Gardener, lawn care. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
Don't
out
look at my lawn. Oof, I can even work on it.
I'd love to look at your lawn. Send me some pieces. I'll tell you what to do.
No. I have to listen. I have to get it done right. I'm going to work on it for my wife too. I want to make it real next week when she gets back. I'm going to go take her to get some flowers, some mulch.
You know how to improve your garden, right? Just add gasoline and use a match.
You don't want to burn.
I have a huge weed problem.
Gasoline and a match or dynamite.
No, I don't want to blow up my yard.
I've got a 10-minute advice for you. 10 minutes worth of advice, but I don't think anybody would be interested in it. But we'll do it offline one day, Max. Shall we?
Okay. All right.
I'm currently handling Days Gaming's lawn, right? So
no, it looks great. I've seen his videos. It looks great.
Yeah, but he's trying to grow. He's trying to grow some grass.
Okay.
And he's having a bit of trouble.
I wanted to get people's thoughts on this in Black Adam. It's one of my most anticipated this year. I love it. People are really very critical of The Rock.
Why?
Because I'll tell you why. Because he wants to be he's a hog. He's in every movie, and he never gives anyone the role.
Hey, are you for capitalism, Mikonator? He's people want to pay him.
Will be fun. I'm a capitalist, but that's what I'm seeing. He's literally in every movie.
Well, he wants to do it. He's capable of doing it. Why shouldn't he do it?
Can I just say, I really hope, and I know it's being hopeful, but I'm hoping at the end of this film we get a cameo from Henry Cavill.
Oh yeah.
Here's my problem. A lot of the roles he plays in don't really require that much depth.
No, but this film, Black Adam, has been a 10-year passion project of his, and then him producing Shazam as well. I hate him. Yeah, I know, but he's put a lot of passion and a lot of heart into this role to make it as good as he possibly can. And especially the trailer that they have released, I mean, it really looks like it's going to be big. They're hoping.
I hope it's good.
Yeah.
But I can't say it'll be good or bad for certain. I mean, no one can predict the future.
Yeah, true. But
not even the Mikonator can judge the future, can you, Carl?
I mean,
and he has been known. He has been known to time travel from occasionally.
I mean,
really?
I do.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's videos out
I
of
am an expert in human nature, but human nature doesn't guarantee predicting the future.
You mean like when Arnold appears in the past with no clothes on? I don't know if I can handle that with the
No, you don't want to see me without my clothes off. You don't want that.
Bowing and like I'm here to terminate.
He's done a couple of videos where the camera slipped a little bit.
And Mikonator, can you go back in time and stop Tommy Tallarico from announcing the Amico?
Oh, don't get him started.
You would have saved a lot of people's money and a lot of.
That's how I do it. You know how I do it? I bring a nuclear weapon with me and launch it where he at the side where he announces the Amico.
Well, don't say any weapons against Tommy. We'll just stop him, Tommy.
He's the Amico-nator. I mean, what do you expect him to say?
Well,
I'm hearing that he's broke.
Max. See, Ashley's concerned he will rock it up, eyebrows raised and all. Well, what do you think, Ramble Man? What are you looking forward to this project, and what do you think?
I'm not hugely invested in it, but I do like The Rock, and I know it's a passion project of his. And unlike Carl, he's made a lot of duffers, but and none of the roles. I don't think any of the roles are intentionally meant to be deep for him. I don't think that's his forte. But
I mean, it's like The Rock is kind of like the warrior from the Gauntlet games. He's like, all this walking is pumping my legs. He just sounds like that. He just sounds that dumb.
He was good in fighting with what's that wrestling movie? He did the British wrestling movie? It's Fighting with
Well,
Families.
yeah, he's
Fighting
a
with
wrestler.
Families.
I would hope he's
No, he was playing himself. He was great at that.
Yeah.
But I like The Rock because he took that project, for example. I think it's Fighting with the Family, or I can't
And
remember.
Young
it now.
Rock is a good series.
And he took that project. He watched a documentary on Channel 4 in Britain while he was over here doing another movie. He loved the story so much, and he went with it. He produced it. He put the money up for it. Everything. So he does have passion projects. So I mean, I'm right behind what he's doing. I got to say,
I hope he does well.
Yeah, good.
Oh, don't get him started about that, please.
We're not going there. No,
I don't want to tell my God. Well, I mean, it's Ramblings too. It's multi-stream.
True.
But,
You can talk about that on one of my streams another day.
Gonna get us demonetized immediately.
You know what movie I want to see him do? You know what movie I want to see him? I want to see him play as Hitler.
No, Carl, we're not going down there, Carl, please. All right.
That's the one I want to see him.
Good.
If he can do that, he can do any movie.
No.
Don't make us mute you now, Carl. You've only just got on, for goodness sake.
Anything else? We're at the 2 hour. Yeah, Tommy Oyumiko saying no. Hey, we need Tommy. Can we get you on next week? I'd love, like to talk to Tommy.
Come on, Tommy. Well, I was saying, Max, just the one thing before, because you've got some inside information, being a cult member of the MME.
I'm very limited. I don't get much.
Well,
I'm not invited to cult meetings. They don't come around.
He was never big in the call you know that.
Saggy, it was a joke. Saggy kicked
Carl, don't spoil my false narrative, please. Let me continue.
Someone's at the door, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, thanks, Chris.
Thanks for coming on, Chris.
Sorry for my outburst.
No, you're fine,
cool.
Chris.
That's good.
Man, you will go.
Oh no, I'm saying 11. Sorry to you. I'm saying sorry to you guys. I'm not apologizing to her. I'm apologizing to you.
Okay.
All right.
You go
All
to
good,
11
Chris.
and woo, you got turn to 11.
All good. But you see, when we start talking about the Amico, everybody jumps off. No, but we heard on Day's stream yesterday that Tommy's broke. Is that right?
Tommy
Tellerico is broke.
I don't want to reveal.
Oh, so he does know
personal stuff, but I've heard things about that, but I don't know how much of it's true.
Okay.
Because I still like Tommy.
Of course
He made a lot of mistakes, and I don't know how much he's being hyperbolic to garner sympathy from his still left supporters. I don't know how much it's. I don't know the ratio of. I do know he's invested personally, but I don't know to what extent.
How often did you sit on his Ferrari?
What's that?
How often did you sit on his Ferrari?
I didn't get any Ferrari ride, and I wanted one, and I wanted my Amico boxed edition signed, which I don't think is ever going to happen now.
So if Tommy's just say Tommy is broke, is that what's preventing him from getting $100 bill out of his wallet and sending it to Cyrus? Because Cyrus is still waiting, as I understand, for his refund. Thanks.
And my interpretation is that it's not coming out now. They're broke. Lots of mistakes were made, and I don't think people are getting their money back.
You know what he could have done? He could have generated enough profit by pimping out his music and giving Cyrus that $100.
Well, I think he should, yeah, definitely.
I mean, it's like, dude, get off your ass and help someone you said was your friend.
Well, I don't want to bring Cyrus is my good friend. I don't want to bring Cyrus too much in the conversation either.
No, that's fine.
Because he.
I mean, it's like sell your Ferraris and give the guy his money. Damn it, he deserves it.
Hey, Brian.
Hey, Brian, he's back.
Hey guys.
Click wrong link.
No, I just went and got some food.
Okay.
Well,
that's how I see it.
You guys can carry on. I've got real life chores to do. Max, you've got the yard to do.
Oh yeah. So we're actually wrapping it up here. Any final thoughts or?
You want my rambling tip for this week?
Yeah. We're at the 2 hour mark.
Slugs. if you have slugs in your garden and you have some old beer knocking about, you need a plastic container, sort of any plastic container with a lid. Cut some holes in the side that are big enough for the slug to go in. Bury it just up to the slots where the slugs will crawl in. Put some beer in it because they're attracted to the yeast, and you will drown your slugs in a natural way. And then you can pour the slugs and the beer back onto the lawn, and it'll mulch your lawn for you.
I also heard eggshells, broken up eggshell cell.
Use the slug carcass to refertilize the lawn. Oh my god!
There you go.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Beer is a wonderful product. Does so many different things.
Yes.
We'll leave it at that.
Did you have your tea today? Anyone have their tea? I forgot.
I did have my tea. Yeah, I had my tea.
I had Lipton tea.
Lipton tea. Yeah, cheers. Lipton's tea. Yeah, we don't do Lipton's tea over here.
Hey.
Oh, no.
Carl, did you drink your tea for MME International Tea Time?
I had the green tea in the 20-ounce containers.
Okay, that counts. Yeah. Brian, do you like tea?
Absolutely. It's actually what I switched to.
The moment I looked up bubble tea and I saw this, that sounds completely idiotic.
I drink Lipton's iced tea.
Yeah,
I'm afraid to ask Carl's cooking tips. I'm afraid.
My cooking tips? Well, it depends. I'll give you a few cooking tips.
Oh god!
You know, like cheddar cheese, it makes a great ingredient for combining with lots of stuff. Like I'll tell you right now, you take one of those frozen cheeseburger mac deals, you add sour cream, broken up crackers.
What?
Cheese, and you'll make the macaroni and cheese thicker and cheesier.
Okay, interesting.
Carl has got some concoction videos on his channel. Well, he hasn't at the minute.
I took them down. I don't want to do food videos.
Re-upload them, you fool! Right?
Oh wow, Panda Scott here.
He calls himself my number one fan, and he comes in at 2 hours and whatever minute, 2 hours and 8 minutes.
Hope you.
I think he's gone down the pecking order again. Ridiculous.
Shred your own cheese. Don't buy it pre-shredded.
Indeed.
I like buying it pre-shredded.
It melts better if you shred it yourself.
There you go.
Yeah, but I put it up so high that it doesn't really matter. Also, for nachos, I usually add lots of cheese and the nacho tortilla chips themselves. That's it. Put it on for like 4 or 5 minutes.
Carl is sponsored by the Cheese Manufacturers of America, by the way. I don't know if you were aware of that. He loves his cheese.
The only thing I haven't tried is Limburger, and I won't touch that stuff with a 9-foot pole.
Probably wise.
There you go. Hot take from Carl as we leave.
All right. Well, anyone want to end the show for us? Ramblin', Anthony?
Thank you for watching. Thank you for being with us. Hope you watch the replay.
And your channel's coming next week?
Yeah, it's coming. Yep.
No, next week.
I've got a trial video, but I'll do it.
All right, he's moving next week, Max. He can't do 2 things at once. One of the most stressful things in the world is to move.
He's a man. He can multitask. Everyone knows men can multitask.
Let me get moved, and then we'll be right.
All right. We're waiting to sub.
Okay.
Yeah. We're waiting to sub 2,000. Panda sub 2,000.
Oh. There we go.
I think you should join as a member. He's so late, Max. I think he should become a 99 cents member. If he really is if he's my number one fan.
Right? By the end of the month, I do have a prize of a Nintendo Switch OLED.
That's true.
Oh wow.
Ooh, that's a good one too.
For 99-cent members, you get a chance.
And this time, Rhea won't win everything, will she, Max?
If she wins, she wins. It's equal. I can't control it. Although I would that would be painful. I don't know how I would handle that if I pull her name. That's going to be really awkward.
Shout out to Raya, though.
You put it back in. You pull my name. Oh.
Listen, I listen. If I have any force powers whatsoever, I am focusing on Brian.
Max, just look on. There are ways of enabling a blind draw to go your way if you're.
I'm not gonna. I did not do that when Raya won the Evercade. I was. If you go back and watch, I was shocked. I was like, "Wow, this is weird." I felt like something. I felt like other factors were like getting me to pull that name because I knew she wanted it the most.
Well, shout out to her. She's on holiday and she's enjoying her Evercade as we speak. I believe she took it with her. I think. Yeah.
Well, Panda says for the record he agrees with everything Ramblin' Man said.
Okay, he's going back up slightly. But he has promised to make a load of really exciting, expensive, time-consuming introductions for my lives going forward. I'm sure that's what he said, wasn't it? If he wanted to be my number one fan. So I am going to start streaming Max next week. So
okay. Awesome.
Bomini and Carla will be on it, and if we can get a few others on it, all the better. Everybody's welcome. You, especially you, Ant. But I know it'll probably be stupid o'clock for you again in Australia.
Yeah, I'll do what I can.
Great. Well, thanks everybody. It was another good one, another spicy one, Max. Thanks for the topic.
Oh yeah, I thought about it a long time. I put that together in 15 minutes.
I was going to say that 15 minutes before we started. That was good work.
All right.
Awesome.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.